welcome to another episode of Wedflics. I'm your host, Julia Braime. I'm the founder and editor of Brides Up North, the top UK wedding blog for northern couples, and the editor of Unveiled magazine, your go-to bridal glossy. In today's show, I chat to Unveiled Network member Natalie of Natalie Kate Makeup. We're talking all things skin, prepping for that big day, and the makeup that goes on top. Are you ready to get glam? Let's meet Natalie. Okay, so hi Natalie and welcome to Wedflics. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Thank you so much for being my guest on the show.
Okay.
So everybody, this is the gorgeous Natalie Kate of Natalie Kate Makeup. Natalie's not just Natalie Kate Makeup though, she's also the Blossom Rooms. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about that during the show as well. If you're watching us on Wedflics on video, you'll be able to see the lovely background behind Natalie. And that just gives a feel for her space. She's all about the kind of calm, serenity, the chill out vibes, total relaxation. And if you're listening along on audio, then hopefully that'll come across in the interview.
Hopefully.
Not from me, from Natalie. So Natalie, it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last year as an Unveiled Network member. I know all about your business, but do you want to tell the people watching along with us or listening along a little bit about you and your business?
Of course. So I'm Natalie. I started out as a makeup artist and I still obviously, that is a massive part of my business. But I mainly focus on bridal now. I started out doing every kind of makeup you can imagine. And I sort of found quite quickly where I loved, like where my passion was, and that was of course in bridal. So it just progressed from there really. So I do mainly bridal, I was going to say on weekends, but at the minute it's literally weeks at the weekends. And then from that, getting to know brides and everything over the years and speaking to them on like the build up, it became really apparent that people didn't just want to feel glowy and lovely with makeup on. It was more helping with the skin, having a bit of a pamper beforehand. And I'm a little bit OCD. It used to drive me insane putting makeup on and making skin look amazing that way. But then as soon as you take it off, you're almost like back to square one. So yeah, I went back to college and everything later in life, university courses and everything, and just mainly specialised then in skin. And more like rejuvenation, relaxing facials, giving people a glow, but then everything from that to helping with like severe acne and hormonal skin and anti-aging. So then I opened the Blossom Rooms, which is where I am today.
Wow. I mean, what a journey and what a service for your brides and grooms, I'm guessing, because, you know, skinhead girls.
Definitely.
How did it all begin then? Like, how did you develop this love of makeup? Where did it start?
So I went to university to do teaching actually, which I enjoy teaching within makeup, but at the time it was more for children for childcare. And within weeks of being there, I just realised this wasn't for me. I was sort of like 18, 19 though, so I just sort of went with the flow and mainly to like move away and just get my independence and things. And while I was there, I enrolled at a college doing makeup on an evening. So I was at uni in the day doing teaching, and then was at college on a night time doing makeup. Just because I've always been really creative, I've loved art. I've never really been, I mean, I'm wearing a full face today because we're obviously recording, but I'm not really a big makeup wearer myself. Yeah. It was more just working with other people and making people feel good about themselves, and yeah, the whole like art and creative side of it that really sort of drew me in. And back then it wasn't like a big thing. I remember telling my mum and dad I was going to college to do makeup, and they were like, what are you doing? Isn't it a career? Like, are you crazy? And it just it just snowballed from there. I did a family wedding, and I think I literally like charged her for my fuel. And I did 10 people's makeups. I really like chucked myself in the deep end that day. Didn't charge at all for it, just did it mainly to gain the experience. And I just, from that minute, I was hooked. Like, I loved the wedding morning and seeing the buzz, and just being a part of it was just like addictive.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think there is something about the wedding weddings and the wedding industry, that once you set foot into it, you just fall in love. And I mean, the couples watching this or listening to this, they're gonna be getting their first taste of that. And I know that lots of people go on to work in the industry. I know that's where you came to it, but lots of people go on to work in the industry after their own wedding. And there's a reason for that, because it is just so magical. So why do you love bridal? Like, what is it about it?
Oh God, there's so much. It is so, when you sort of sit back now that wedding's not really happening at the minute, so I've got a bit of a break, and look back, you just, it's everything about it, to be honest. It's the whole build up for me, because I obviously meet brides sometimes 2 years in advance. So it's meeting them, it's getting to know the friends, the family, the whole bridal party, building that relationship with them, and seeing like the excitement, and just hearing it go from literally like notes on a pen and paper or in the sort of diary to the full day is just amazing. But then also I'd probably say, like I said a moment ago, with the whole mornings and everything, being a part of that is so addictive. Like, it's just, you are part of the biggest day of somebody's life. And as a makeup artist, I mean, hair and makeup, they sort of go hand in hand. We see everything. So you see all those little moments, you see the emotions, you see the nerves, the excitement, opening the Prosecco, having the pictures. And it's just lovely. No one's ever in a bad mood, which is amazing.
And you always kind of come away, I guess. Like, I bet it's a bit of a you'll have chilled out because you're chilling out at the bridal party. But I bet you come away like, after each job.
On such a high, because as well, when you've sort of spent that 40, 60 minutes doing a makeup, and then you pass the mirror to somebody and they look in the mirror and just love how they look. It's a really weird thing to describe, but you're just making someone feel incredible in their own skin. Especially for women as well, because we're so harsh on ourselves sometimes. The minute I sit someone in my chair, they always say, I hate this, I hate that, cover this, and blah blah blah. And then at the end, they go like almost a full circle. They look in the mirror and they're like in love with how they look, and they're taking selfies with the friends, and it's just amazing. It's such a nice feeling. Just
keep stealing glances back in that mirror. It's quite nice to see it, isn't it? I know,
it is.
Having had my makeup done a few times professionally, it annoyed me when, say, like Kate Middleton got married and they reported that she did her makeup herself. Because it's just so not the same to do your makeup on your wedding day. I would always say to someone who's thinking, oh, well, I like my makeup a certain way, I'm going to do it myself on my wedding day. You are completely missing out on a huge experience and a chance to be pampered, to relax. And obviously, if you've chosen the right makeup artist and done the trial and discussed your concerns, that makeup artist is going to do the makeup that you want to do, but they're going to do it 1,000 times better than you could do it.
And it's going to last.
That's the main point. Well, it's going to look great on camera and it's going to last, which, you are professionally trained to do that. And someone can obviously put on a face of makeup, boom, but they might not have got the shading right, or the like you say, the longevity in it. So, and also you don't get to just kind of sit there and chat with your friends and enjoy your glass of champagne and actually take that 40 minutes to 60 minutes to decompress ahead of your wedding day, which I think is part of the process so important.
It is. And I think people, once I get somebody in my chair, everybody in the room sort of respects that that's their time. Same with them when they go and have their hair done. You could have the most nervous bride who will not sit still, and the minute she's in that chair and you're almost keeping her preoccupied, they actually start to enjoy the morning and relax and, like you say, have a glass of fizz, and people then stop coming to them and asking them 1,000,001 questions. They just sort of sit there and think, oh, I'm getting married. Like, this is happening.
You can do that if you're doing your own makeup. You'd like leave it too late, or you'd draw a black line at your face because it would be that day.
It's all wonky.
Sometimes when you do your own, you like absolutely nail your eyeliner, but other days you're just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it would be that day that you were terrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't do with that pressure on it. People always say to me, will you do your own? And I'm like, absolutely not, no way.
Yeah. And also, the benefit of having that relaxation time, and you want to have it too. I think I think that is such a good takeaway, that professional makeup artists would get someone else to do their makeup on their wedding day. I think that's such a big takeaway. It would have to be someone they trusted though, and did on the full trial with. Natalie, do you have a signature style of makeup that you like, or a signature look that you like to do for your brides?
So yeah, people will mainly come to me with ideas, but I do sort of have my own, I'd say maybe 3 signature looks I go for. And people do come with ideas anyway, but they'll always show you an image of a previous bride. And I can say 9 times out of 10, it's normally your sort of like signature look. I'm sure a lot of makeup artists will find that. I love that really sort of like glowy golden, almost like angelic, like beautiful glass skin look. I love that look. So sometimes people think that's really natural and you don't use any product at all, but you often find you use more product just in different ways, and you're really working and blending for a lot longer. But then I do love like a really full, like fluffy lash, like really bronzy contoured skin, quite like exaggerated glossy lips. Like I love that sort of style because it photographs again just beautifully. But it's finding the right style for different people. What looks amazing on Pinterest and Instagram sometimes is totally different on yourself.
And it'll also depend on like the lighting in the photograph, which you know can blur out imperfections, or it can deepen a shade, or you know, it's interesting, isn't it, that it can just
definitely. And I think as well, photographs and videos can sometimes be really different. So I've been trying, I'd say the last year at all of my weddings, to video as well as photograph, because in skin makeup can look so much different. If you've got amazing lighting and a professional photographer, it can blur out almost every imperfection, but to the point where you're expecting yourself to look like that. And you don't. We all have pores, we all have lines and wrinkles.
How disappointing that we can't all be at all times. I have to, since we've started recording for Instagram more over on my channels, I often get friends or text me and say, "Oh, you looked amazing today in lockdown." I'm like, I'm wearing 2 filters. 2 filters, my friend, on a full face of makeup.
Exactly.
It's a shame, isn't it? Our perception of kind of reality and beauty has been warped a little, well, a lot, social media. But let's not go there. Let's stick So favorite makeup products then, Natalie? What are your favorite brands to use and work with?
Oh, that's a hard one because there's a lot. Charlotte Tilbury, Nars and Bobbi Brown, I'd say, are my 3 favourites at the minute. And I am all about skin products. I think your skin, your prep, your base and your foundation, and how you set all of that is going to make or break the makeup, really. You could have the most insane smoky eye ever, but if your skin just doesn't do that justice, I feel like the whole look sort of like doesn't come together.
Absolutely. And also I think the staying power point's very important. I'm someone who has skipped primer all my life and regretted it, and I need to get on board now. My makeup really slides now I'm a bit older.
Everybody honestly thinks I'm weird for saying this, but I really don't like primers. I'm not a primer kind of girl. I'm more your skincare and skin prep rather than the primers. I think primers are a really clever marketing tool. There's maybe 2 that I love if someone's got really extreme oily skin.
I think I have an extremely oily eyelid. That's all. That's the only part of me that seems to be extremely oily, and my eye makeup will crease and slip.
So don't use a primer. I would use a really light concealer, and then I'd set that with a really like loose translucent powder.
Wow.
No primer.
So, Natalie and I talked before this, before we started recording, and I said I wouldn't be asking for personal tips, but you know, you just can't help it. I bet you
know, that's right.
I did have my pen there for a moment. I just thought,
I'll send them all to you.
So you like, when I talk to makeup artists, I hear Charlotte Tilbury a lot, because I think, you know, why is Charlotte Tilbury a favourite?
She's like the original queen of makeup. Like, she was a makeup artist. She literally worked doing what we do day in, day out. So I think when someone creates those products and tools themselves because they've worked it all day, every day of their career, they're just going to nail it. And her marketing and her social media and everything is just insane. Yeah. So she just gets it right, because there's some brands that the products are amazing, but you've never heard of them.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think what's really interesting for Charlotte Tilbury is that they're a brand that, you know, the average girl on the high street loves because of their branding and marketing, and because they were kind of the first to, she was the first to bring out almost like a look. You could buy a look, which I loved.
That's it.
But makeup artists love her products too. So you think, okay, there's something in this for sure. I also love Bobbi Brown personally.
Yeah, love Bobbi Brown.
Yes, it's nice to hear you say that.
It's such like a classic as well. Like, they are really like cult classic products that sometimes it is easy to sort of fall into the whole what's popular on Instagram and everything like that. But then when you actually go back, and when I look at my makeup kit and the products that I pick up time and time again, year after year, and constantly rebuy, it is your classics like your Bobbi Browns, your MAC still. Like there's even brands like Ben Nye. People have never heard of Ben Nye if they don't do makeup, really. But they're products that, especially when you're doing your training and things, or you look at like the old school makeup artists, that's all they ever loved. So
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how things kind of have longevity. But yeah, I'm a big Bobbi fan.
Yes.
Nars terrifies me, I must admit, a little bit, because
it terrifies. But that's because Nars terrify people, because the product names can sometimes be a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Like, as an editor and writer, I kind of respect a good product name, I have to say. I love a nail varnish name, you know, like an OPI when they have all the cool nail varnish names.
Oh, no.
That sort of thing. So yeah, I don't mind that about Nars. It's more just like the bright blue. I think when I think Nars, I think the orgasm stick, and I think bright blue.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that's why it's terrified me. It's kind of like a, you know, in my late 30s, and
it terrifies me on a wedding morning when I use a blush like that, and somebody's grandma, 80-year-old, will say to me, "That blush is amazing, what's that called?" And I'm like, I don't want to say the name.
Yeah, just be like, Pico. Oh, so funny. Okay, so let's hear a bit about your studio then, since you're, you know, sitting in it and it just looks so beautiful. It's called the Blossom Rooms.
Yes.
Love the name. Tell us a bit about your studio. Like, what's the whole concept behind having it, and how do you want your clients to feel when they come along?
So it's where my salon is at my house, but it's in a separate building, completely separate. It's tucked away, it's really quiet. You literally don't hear a thing when you're in here. So it's really serene and just very chilled. And I wanted it to be somewhere where it is on a one-to-one basis. So you're not walking into a new salon where it can feel quite intimidating sometimes if there's 4 or 5 hairdressers there when you first walk in, different nail techs, and if you're going in sometimes without any makeup on, or you're going in for a facial where you're going to leave without any makeup, or you're just going in to talk about weddings and bridal trials and things, I think you just want that really chilled, or I feel that myself and my clients definitely want that really chilled personal experience. So that was sort of what I was looking for ages. And then it all fell into place when we moved house and found this house. That was like a massive selling point for me. And then the sort of name came about. We've got loads of blossom trees that grow like up the side of the salon, which is just amazing. I mean, they're not obviously at the moment, but yeah, in the warmer months, more springtime, I love it because there's just like beautiful white and pink blossom literally right outside. So it just made sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, here I do everything sort of bridal here anyway, makeup wise. But like I say, with the skin, that really evolved as soon as I opened here, because there was just, I mean, there's so much space, there's so much that I can offer, and because there literally is just me, I've not got to worry about bringing different things in because I've only got myself here. So
yeah, it's quite nice to have that. Well, it's kind of like creative freedom, really, I guess. Yeah. So what services do you offer then in the Blossom Rooms?
So I'd say anything facial wise that you can think of, I probably offer it. I'm very picky with my treatment list. I train in a lot and I bring a lot into the clinic to sort of try on my regular clients, but only the best sort of sticks. because I'm very, very picky. I wouldn't just, my clients, I think when they're on a bit of a skin journey, they want something that's going to work and bring results, and I'm the exact same. If I don't see a result, I'm quite impatient. I'm like, I can't be waiting around for this for years for it to happen. It has to be something that, obviously not everything's going to be instant, but it has to be something that really works and gives amazing results. So yeah, everything facial wise that you can think of. I do a lot of like LED treatments, hydrofacial, which is amazing for like your congestion and blackheads. I do a lot of things like peels, so they're really good for like anti-aging, acne, hormonal skin. And then I do like your regular facials that just give you a really good glow. And they're just like nice maintenance. And then I do aesthetics as well. So Mesotherapy, skin boosters, which is more like injectable skincare. I do dermal fillers, but they're more, I like my clients to leave and nobody know what they've had done. I just like people to say, God, you look good. Like, what have you done? And it's like our little secret. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's, we were talking off camera and before the recording about how you are quite picky with the people you'll take on and work with, because you're not looking to cater to that market that wants to turn themselves into an Instabot.
No.
You want to enhance a natural beauty, which I think is right up a bride to be street, to be honest. You don't want to look, you want to look yourself, but better.
Exactly. I like to call things that I do like tweakments. You are just tweaking and enhancing little things, and you're not masking anything. You're not changing anything about yourself. You are literally just enhancing the best features about yourself and giving yourself that confidence from within. I think that's just really important nowadays for women, especially.
Yeah, I think that's really, really nice. And do you get your brides in to have their trials with you?
Yes, so they come here for the trials, again, which is really nice, because I do often say, come without makeup. We go through photographs of the things that they like, but then also I like to see them with makeup on the photographs. And then you sort of create a look together then that's not, then you're not completely changing them. You're enhancing the best of them. And I do always say to people as well, like, what's your favourite feature? Like, what do you love about yourself? What do you love about your face? It could be, I love my bone structure, I love my cheeks, I love my nose, my eyes, my lips. There's so much. So I like to enhance that and make people just feel that little bit better about themselves. And that's why when they come here, it's really nice, really chilled. They can leave and they're not on a busy high street where everybody's sort of looking in and, oh, what's she having done?
And feeling like, whoa, I've had my makeup done, because you do feel a bit like that, don't you? You're like, whenever I've had my hair done, I'm always like, I've had my hair done.
Yeah.
Look at my hair. And obviously they're not.
I know, that's it. And sometimes, I know, like, over the years, I've had my makeup done like on counters sometimes, and you'll leave and their lighting is amazing, but then you'll go into another shop or you'll go outdoors and you think, oh my God, that's what I look like.
Totally agree. When you get back in your car, you're like, oh my God, in your mirror, in your,
like, blend everything out.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's really funny. I've had that a few. I like to get the odd lash extensions, and I've had that with lash extensions. You kind of leave and you feel fine, and then you get in your kind of think, oh my goodness, I'm about to take flight. Yeah, and then the picking begins.
Yeah, I know, naughty.
It's a rocky road from there. Let's be honest. So funny. Okay, but bridal trials. Why? Do you always recommend them to your brides? I'm guessing yes.
Yes, always. Mainly so it breaks the ice as well, because if you're having somebody come into wherever you're getting ready, it could be at your home, it could be a hotel room, your wedding venue. If you've never met them before, for yourself and for them, it's quite intimidating sort of having someone come into your little bubble. If you imagine you're there with your mum, your bridesmaids, having a complete and utter stranger come in, I think a bridal trial is so important to make sure you actually gel with that person as well. Because again, like what I sort of said earlier, we're a part of someone's, probably the biggest day of their lives, or one of. So you really have to have like such a good relationship with them. I mean, as well, makeup artists, we see everything. We literally see and hear everything.
So much fun. I mean, great, isn't it? It's being a fly on the wall on the wedding day.
Oh, it's amazing.
Social media and things like what we're doing today must really help with that process, because they've already essentially in inverted commas, as long as you're kind of showing up authentically on social media, they've kind of already met you. That's why things like this Wedflics are great, because hopefully we'll get some brides watching this that are like, oh yeah, Natalie is so for me. You know, by the way, everybody, Natalie's located in North Lincolnshire, but what areas do you cover, just in case anyone's watching? Well, I want this girl on my wedding.
Thank you. Anywhere and everywhere. Like, honestly, I've done weddings, and I've still got weddings for the next couple of years abroad, all over the country.
Right, cool. Well, that's good to know for sure. So this girl will travel. So if you're thinking, yeah, she's the chick for me, then this, you know, Natalie is willing to hop in the car or on a plane or on a boat.
I love it.
Should we be so allowed to? She will be that. Let's go back again to the skincare. So we were talking about products for makeup and brands. What products do you love to use on the skin?
Do you mean for makeup or more skincare wise?
More skincare wise.
Oh, again, this is really tricky. I'm a nightmare with this. So for makeup, I'm an utter brand snob. Like I know what I like, and I stick with the good products. And obviously you do for makeup, but for skincare, but for skincare, I'm more ingredients like driven. So I'll go to the ingredients more than I will gravitate towards brands. Obviously there's amazing brands that I'll only use in clinic, but I do mix things up a bit. I don't just stick with one brand, because it's more, for me, the ingredients that get you the results.
And sort of the potencies within the different products, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Then if a client comes to you and they're looking to get ready for their wedding, so they're coming to you, like, say, a year, 6 months before their wedding, and they're going to really work with you to improve their skin, do you then recommend them different products to use at home, but it'll be from a range of things? Yeah,
a range. And I think sometimes it's quite surprising, because ladies will come in, and grooms, brides and grooms will come in, and they'll say, right, where do I need to start? And we'll build like a routine for them together at home. So something that's they're actually going to stick to. There's no point in me saying do 20 different serums on night time, and it's just, it's not going to happen.
Although I would do that if that was the recommendation. I absolutely love tinkering around in the bathroom with baths and skincare and all that stuff. So I'd be like, okay, I need to do my full.
What do I need? But it gets so overwhelming, so I just try and like make it really simple. So I always say like a good 4-step routine is what you need to nail, and then as soon as you get that, you can then sort of build up from there and add in different things and everything like that. So I always build like a good skincare routine with them, and then I say to them, go home and try it for the next 2-3 months. And I think sometimes that really surprises people, because I think they think I'm going to be like, right, you need lay on the bed, you need this and this with me. And I like to sort of get to know their skin and see a transformation and see what their skin likes, and then go from there, because you'll often find what you need on day one, once you've actually got a good routine at home, come month 3 or 4 is completely different.
I absolutely find that. And I find that with the best projects, sometimes as well, obviously we're getting more used to using things like your vitamin A's and your vitamin C's, and obviously better vitamin A is retinol, and you'll try something and if it's a really good product, it'll probably have some sort of instant result, after a few days, but then it might feel too much for your skin, so you've almost got to step back from it and then go back to it. It is definitely like a testing, teething process, isn't it, to get the skincare right? And I'm going through that at the minute with some products, but I'm going to stick with them because I think they're having so top tips then for someone getting their skin ready for their wedding day, whether it's a groom or a bride. I mean,
a good routine, 100%. So make sure you're cleansing. That is so important. The 2 most important things I'd say are cleansing and then your SPF. But then in the middle of that, I love a toner and then either a serum or a moisturizer. Again, I'm more on the fence with a moisturizer. A moisturizer will just lock in everything that's in there. So if your skin's lacking in something, that's normally when you put moisturizer on, and then an hour later you feel like this is gone, there's nothing on me anymore. It's because you're lacking in something. So your serums are normally the best for that. Good 4-step routine. And then I'd probably say with things again, it's obviously everyone's very, very different, but in clinic it's either just facials to give you a regular sort of like decongest, get rid of all dry skin and everything like that, or a really good boost, and I'd like to say like a really good kick up the bum for your skin, just gets everything going again, gets everything moving again, just gives you such a glow. So it is mainly in clinic. I normally, like I say, when I get people and I give them that routine at home, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
You sort of find yourself in one of two sort of routes. You either have to come in and it's like, right, we need to be in every single month, every 4 to 6 weeks, or once they've done things at home, they just come in sort of every, I'd say once every 3 months, just for a bit of a top up, just to see.
Yeah, I love this. And actually, like your experience and all that training you were talking about really shines through in your answers, because
thank you.
your answers are so much more considered than the usual kind of drink lots of water, eat well. You know, you've kind of just assumed that as a baseline.
Yeah.
And wow, like the moisturizer point, I just did not know that. Yeah. I've definitely got to sort my serums out, that's for sure. And
that's it.
There'll be people listening and watching this thinking, okay, yeah, I was doing this a bit wrong, or not quite hitting the nail on the head with my processes.
Yeah,
I think that's really amazing, actually. That, you know, I'd consider myself that. I mean, I'm a stylist, for goodness sake. I go on style shoots. I tap at makeup artists for info constantly, and I hadn't ever really kind of heard that way of thinking before. So it's amazing what, you know, a professional can do for you. So I'm really impressed by that, to be honest.
I think as well, because I've never worked for a brand. I'm not affiliated with any brands. I just recommend what I know will work and what I love and what my clients love. So I just try and like cut through all the clever marketing and everything like that, and just get to the point really with it, and just say, this is what you need, this is what will work. Because ultimately, and I do say it to my clients, their face, once they've been to me, is a walking advertisement for me. So I don't need to do all this clever marketing and say, oh, try this, and all these crazy fancy words. If you just cut through it all and say, try this, this, and this, it will work. If it doesn't work, we'll tweak it, and then it will work.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes my job a lot easier, and then also it makes it so much better for clients, because they're not wasting money like we all are very guilty of doing. Sometimes you'll see a beautiful glossy advertisement on the TV of a celebrity that's probably never used what they're advertising, and you think, oh, take money, take it all, I'm going to look like that. And when it doesn't, you're so disheartened. So I think because I've been there and done that for years.
Oh yeah.
Then
I know it when I'm doing it. I still enjoy doing it.
So. I do. I still do it now.
And I still will continue to do it. But you know, but when it comes to your bridal prep, like there's no messing around. You need to go straight to professionals like Natalie and get her to sort it out personally. And I love that. I love your personal bespoke service. I love that you're not affiliated with a particular product line. You know, great, to be quite honest, from the point of view of the customer. I think it's really, really good. We touched on style shoots just then. Style shoots, you like them, right?
I love them.
They're why do you like doing style shoots?
You can just be so creative. And as well, on a wedding day, we are all you're there to do a job, and there's a time limit. So everyone your head's really in the game, you're so professional. Not that you're not on a style shoot, but on a style shoot, it is so much more relaxed that if you thought, oh, like maybe let's try this, you'll be the exact same. Once you've maybe set up a shot, you might think, oh, let's completely change that. I want to do this. And it allows you to do that. Whereas obviously a wedding, there is a brief. We're doing exactly to what this couple want, which is amazing. But on a styled shoot, you can really get creative. And
I think it's nice as well that you get ideas for your couples, and also meet other suppliers as well, like like-minded suppliers, not so like-minded suppliers. You know, you get to know people away from the eyes of the wedding couples, so then you're kind of better able to then recommend them, or or kind of use ideas that you get from those shoots and from those creators buzzing together.
I know. And I think a lot of my brides will come for trials and they'll show pictures, and sometimes they were from a styled shoot, and they'll say, I would have never have chosen this had I not seen it on a blog or on your Instagram or wherever it was. So I think it is nice for couples to see that and know, oh, that is possible, or you don't just have to stick with the norm of what we see everywhere else.
What I hear quite a lot through the magazine is that we'll have done a particular style shoot and we might have, say, like gone darker on the eye than you might normally go in bridal or whatever, and then the makeup artist is always like, oh, that's become my most requested look because it's eye-catching and different and stood out in the shoot. It's quite interesting, isn't it, that it pushes the boundaries but moves on the trends as well. I always find that incredible.
Can you remember the Hearst Priory shoot from last year that you featured? It was all like the with grass and the orange. Yeah,
with Tiptoe. And do you know what? So I will link this in the show notes. That it was shot by Eve at Tiptoe with Eve, wasn't it? Hearst Priory, you were part of the team, and Kelly Hanks on hair, and great team. I loved it. And it's actually when I came across quite a lot of you ladies and got to know you. So I was really impressed with that when it came across my desk. I love a good submission like that. I'm like, yes, ladies, thank you very much. We will feature this everywhere. Since then, I have noticed the orange eye everywhere. So on telly, on Holly Willoughby this weekend on Dancing on Ice. It doesn't always translate. Like, for instance, I don't think it translated that well on Dancing on Ice this weekend. But that was a creative look for editorial. It wasn't for like real life wear.
No, not at all.
It's definitely evolved into something people are wearing. And I think for bridal, a softened version of that is now.
Yeah. Definitely. And that is a look that a lot of people share. They'll say, I love this. So you will just, like you say, you'll soften it a little bit, you'll tweak it a little bit. And that was, the orange was like a colour series that I did throughout the whole day. We started with nothing on the skin, nothing on the eyes, and just almost like a really sheer orange look to the lip. And then it evolved from there. So you can either like strip it back or go full on if you want to.
Yeah, it's good. That's good as well, because it does give you like a range of looks to then share with a client. I'm one on a style shoot. I'm a stickler for continuity. But that sort of continuity is totally permissible because it'll work as an editorial. I can take an image from whatever point in the day and create a magazine blend.
Definitely.
What I don't like is to kind of change up the look too much, but I love that idea of an evolution of a look, so that then as well as a contributing makeup artist, you get more looks from the shoot. So it's definitely then with you well as well. So I really like that. Can't wait to start styling for the magazine again.
No, I'm honestly like raring to go. My phone is just full of like screenshots and mood boards. It's a joke.
Oh my God, so the same. And do you know what? Like last year in 2020, I hit a bit of a wall with it, because we'd be like recording for Wedflics or whatever, and I'd say, okay, what do you think the trends are? It's a bit like, don't know, because no one's making any trends or doing anything. And anyone watching back episodes of this will notice I'm like, yes, I think it's all about the individuality of the couple and staying true to your personality. I didn't really think that. I do think that, but as a trend, that's not really a trend. It was me just kind of fudging it because I didn't know what. I felt a bit about it all. But now I think, as time goes on, and you absorb everything around you, and everything kind of feeding in from the zeitgeist, and everything comes, and we're all going to be so creative when it comes back to getting out there, and there's going to be a whole new lot of trends start to tick. And I think we'll see some trends in bridal and into florals and styling come and go very quickly. I think there'll be a lot of pop-ups and go.
Okay. Definitely. Do you know where I'm looking as well at the moment? Because obviously they're getting back to normal. Australia, their bridal, oh my God.
Well, wasn't it always, oh my God? I mean,
it always has been. But because they're going back to their normal now, all their suppliers that I follow, I am just like hooked. Can't stop watching.
Aren't we? What do you love most about your job?
I think it is the people that you work with, and that is suppliers as well as your couples. Because I am literally a one-man band. There is just me. my colleagues are other suppliers within the industry. So it's building that relationship with them is just incredible. But then, being part of the biggest or one of the biggest days of somebody's life there is nothing that compares to it. When I speak about my job sometimes with other people that are in completely different industries, it's almost alien to them. But I almost, in a way, think, like, I love my job. I would never give it up to work in an industry where they work, because
no way.
Doesn't compare.
Obviously, I've got a varied background and skill set, and I used to be a lawyer. A friend of mine asked me a while back in lockdown, oh, why don't you, bridal's not doing so well at the moment, why don't you come on with me? And he said, well, I mean, you'd make loads of money, because he does well. And I said, but I said, I just don't have the passion for that. I just don't. He said, but you'd have the passion because you made money. I said, no, that's not where my passion comes from. My passion comes from the people I'm working with, the creativeness in our industry, helping couples. It's not about money for people in the wedding industry. It's about the love of the job.
Exactly.
I think he found that so alien. And I mean, thank you so much to my friend for the job offer, because it was very kind of you. But I politely declined. In fact, I left it on the table. I told him if I needed it, I'd come knocking. But no, I think we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. It's all about, people don't go into this industry looking for an exit strategy.
No.
I think that's the point. I think we're in it for the love, and it's a lifetime career, and you're a community, and that's what I've loved through the Unveiled Network, that we have kind of all come together for each other, and it's so nice. I can't wait to see everyone in real life. And
I know.
It's going to be brilliant.
Socialize.
It's going to be surreal. We've digressed there, but how do wedding couples? I think it's important. We're going to leave this bit in, because I think it's important that people see the passion that's behind the job.
Yeah.
So it's so lovely.
It is.
How do wedding couples get in touch with you? What's the best way?
I'm pretty much on everything now. I try and cover all bases. Years ago, it just used to be like a little email address and that was it. But now there is all sorts. I've got my website, and there's actually like a booking form and stuff on there.
So what's your web address?
www.nataliekatemakeupartist.com.
It's a gorgeous website, I have to say.
Thank you. I do it all myself, which has been stressful this lockdown.
Well, it's very nice
to keep on top of it all. And then Facebook, Instagram, or email address.
And what's your Insta handle? Because I know you're very active over there.
It's at Natalie Kate MUA, and then the exact same for Facebook as well.
Perfect.
And then there's the email address as well, which is hello@NatalieKateMakeupArtist, all one word. Again, massive mouthful.com.
Yeah, perfect. So lots of ways to contact you, and to book in for a consultation or for a bridal trial, or to come and see you about skincare. So that's fabulous. To finish then, Natalie, what has been your proudest moment in your career so far?
On more of like a professional level, I would say I was in Vogue, which was amazing.
Very nice.
So good. All the publications as well, like Brides Up North, Unveiled, like being on those blogs was just amazing.
Obviously that should have been before Vogue, but
obviously
we'll let you have that one.
That's okay. And then I won Makeup Artist of the Year for Yorkshire and the North East in 2020 and also 2019.
Oh, fantastic.
Winning, which was crazy. I didn't expect that at all. And it's all I thought at the beginning, I'll enter because people like my mum will be able to vote for me. And it isn't. It's all your couples. They're the only people that can vote. So I thought, oh no, like at the time I was only maybe doing like 30 to 40 weddings a year, which now, how busy my diary is now, that sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, compared to the people that do enter, I'll never win. And then I did twice, which was...
Yeah. Do you know what? That's the Wedding Industry Awards, isn't it, that you're talking about? So I used to judge for them. I stepped away. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was a judge for like a good 6 years. But I stepped away when I set up the network this year, because I thought it was, I would be biased, and I'm sorry, but I love the people in the network, so I had to step away. But what is really great about the Wedding Industry Awards is that it is voted for by brides, and that it doesn't matter how many weddings you do. Yep. It's based on comments and scorings, and there's lots of different things that go into, like, I don't want to say algorithm, but it goes into the process. This is an algorithm, it's process. And so it's a really great accolade to have won that, and it's really nice. I always think that awards don't matter that much, because it's always about like the individual relationship with the couple. But what I do think is that awards let couples see that others have liked your service, and it gets them through the door to then try it for themselves. So I'm so proud of that. And you're going to start to educate other makeup artists, right?
Yeah, so I'll be offering both accredited and non-accredited courses for makeup artistry, but then as well more specialising in bridal.
Wow.
Because I do find when you are beginning, it is really hard to find your feet, but then to sort of get into bridal and build that clientele, the reputation, get your supplier base around you is so important. But no one teaches you it. Like, you literally have to bumble your way through and find your feet in the industry, and it can be crazy.
Yeah, and quite intimidating, actually, even though we're trying to kind of get rid of that a bit. But yeah, so what are you going to call your education side of your business?
So that'll be Blossom Education. And it's pretty much going to cover everything from bridal makeup artistry, but then also like your marketing and your social media side. Yeah. Because again, it is really difficult to know. I mean, I fell into the trap for years of paying crazy advertisements for like Google and random things. And I think when I ask my couples, where did you find me? It's never been where I paid all this money to. Yeah. So yeah, things like that, because I think you'll know it's just sometimes just cutting through all the rubbish that's out there, and just finding the couples for you. And so making it easy for them to find you as well, because I'm sure for couples it is crazy. You've got that much choice.
Yeah. Now it used to be that when I started in the blogging game, I guess, it used to be that there wasn't enough information for couples about the local suppliers near to them. Yeah. Now there's too much.
Yeah.
It's about making sure like the best rises to the top. And my game's changed in that to make sure that I'm only talking about the people I would recommend myself, and that sort of way of thinking, rather than pushing everything on them. And I think what you're proposing will really, really help. A, with the training side, and B, with the getting noticed side. So yeah, fantastic. I can't wait to see where you take that. It's
Thank you.
It'll be lovely to see. But Natalie, it's been amazing chatting to you today. So any wedding couples wanting to look their best on their big day and prep for it, please get in touch with Natalie. Thanks so much for being my guest.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.